In 2008, Lyndall Shope-Mafole, who by then held a senior position in the ANC's National Executive Committee, decided to join the newly formed Congress of the People. She did not consult with her mother, but rather informed the family when the deed was done. I'll ask you about the dynamic in this house. You two live here, but Lyndall, you made the decision to go over to Cope not too many years ago. How did that go down with Mom? How did you go through that process? How did you even tell her that this was what was going to happen?
You know, Rebecca, the nice thing about our family is that we practice what we preach. Before I go to that one, let me just put, so that I can give you an example. I remember one time my son came to me and says, "Oh, Mom, I know you politicians, you would say you support gay rights and this and that, but if it is your own child, you will not react that way." So I said to him, "No, I will react exactly the same way. Because this is what I believe and this is what we must practice." In our home, we believe in democracy. And we have discussions and all of those kind of things. But in the end, we're democratic and we understand what that means. It doesn't mean we believe in democracy as long as you are in my party. So for me, the values that I was taught throughout, you know, my membership and leadership of the ANC Youth Section, which I still believe was one of the most disciplined and purposeful youth organizations in the world, I felt it important to continue the values of the ANC as I knew them. I usually say, if I had not been elected to the National Executive Committee in Polokwane of the ANC, I probably would still be a member of the ANC. But being a member of the NEC, I saw so much that was incongruent with the values that I knew the ANC stood for, that I felt it is best I left. And I could have chosen to leave the leadership of the ANC and stay in the ANC, but then I would have stayed critical, and then people would have thought, yes, but people would have thought that, well, maybe I'm critical because I'm no longer in the leadership. That's why it was important to leave both and, you know, to let that be. It was not an accident that we chose the name Congress of the People when we formed COPE, because it was about the values of the ANC. I think South Africans at that time thought we were angry about Mbeki, but I think now we've been vindicated because this is what we saw.
Mom Gertrude, were you cross when she told you? Were you angry with her?
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. You wanted to be angry, but you couldn't be.
I wanted her to find her way and open her eyes on her own without being told or put down the throat.
So you coexist in harmony?
Yes, except when I was in COPE, like if I'm going to executive committee meetings, so she says, "Okay, so what are you guys going to discuss?" I said, "Mom, it's a different party. You can't."
I don't think she's that on you. I don't think so.
Oh, no.
You think she would tell on you?
Yes, but this is the thing. Mommy usually says, you know, we're one South Africa, this thing of political parties and people fighting each other, you know, it doesn't make sense. I said, well, unfortunately, that's the world of politics. But she, for example, would say, you know, don't be shouting at each other just because somebody's in the DA or EFF or whatever. You know, don't use ugly language. So this is what she'd want to know. Okay, what are you guys going to say to those ones? And
the drama of it all.
Yes,
the drama soapy behind the whole thing. Yes, okay.
Yes. So for her, it's like all these are her children, all of them.
Yes.
And for me, there's a third element in terms of how our democracy is developed. Leaders, and I'll just stick to leaders of the ANC. Whether it is Mandela, Sisulu, Mam and them, and all of that, they were not leaders of just a political party. In all other countries, they're recognized as global leaders, leaders of a country, you know, but we compartmentalize them. You know, we want them to be this thing. It's a national day, we want to make it an ANC thing. So we need to still evolve out of that. You know, to say, this is a South African leader, this is a South African president, you know, or even, you know, a leader, a stature of a person, or an artist, you know. Whether the artist belongs to the ANC or belongs to this, should be immaterial. This is a South African artist. And I think that this is one thing that we still need to develop too.
Ma'am Gertrude, I see you agreeing with Lyndall as well. And I want to know where we are today, the government of South Africa, where we are today, everything you went through, do you feel it was worth it for where we are today? Or are you deeply disappointed?
You know, this world, it's a world of ups and downs. You can't just have a river flowing very smoothly throughout mountains and all. There must be something like this that should make you think a little bit and see, where am I hunting? Am I still on the right place or not? Now, so far as we are concerned, in fact, I wanted to bring this, this just sentence that we, women of the world, under the Women's International Democratic Federation, which was first in Germany, we used to stay, and we still stay. Women, as people who bring life to this world, have got a duty to see to it that this life is preserved and protected. You can't say because that man is not your child, you leave him to die there. So I'm trying to say, even when we speak in all our women's conferences, we speak for everybody, not only for the women who are in the ANC, for instance. Yeah.
And I mean, just picking up from what your mom has to say, Lyndall, do you feel that women leaders that we have now, women, female politicians, are living up to their best potential to carry that ethos and that thinking through?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are. There are a lot who have been disappointed, but a lot of them are. But you know what is really beautiful? Because we watch a bit of TV with Mommy. The number of women who are coming out, not just in formal leadership positions. You know, if there's a protest, I've noticed, when there's a protest these days, most of the time, the women the people who are most vocal and who make most sense, sorry guys, who make most sense are women, young women, older women. And I was just saying to Mommy, you know, this is your work. This is the result of the work. I mean, on television, you guys, you are articulate, confident. It didn't used to be like that, you know. So for me, that comes through a lot. But to your question about being disappointed, I am very disappointed in many ways. Firstly, because South Africa was such an icon globally. You know, wherever we went, lots of respect, people wanted us to share, you know, with them. Just from my sector, the ICT sector, Malaysia is now one of the best countries in terms of the use of information and communication technology for governance, for education. We were together with the Malaysian public servants working on those things. Malaysia implemented, we didn't. You know, so I'm just saying, in lots of things. I mean, first heart transplant here. Now you can't even talk about our health system. So I'm just saying, something went wrong, and it is such a pity, and it's going to take us many years to go back to that stature and respect that we had globally, even just respect, you know, for ourselves. But it just means lots of work needs to be done. We need to have more young people who are in the leadership and, you know, who are taking responsibility. Young people and women. I really.
And I'm sorry, just before she finishes, the other thing that I thought I would also add is the fact that, you know, I went to an Anglican school, a Roman Catholic school, a Methodist, and so forth. But all of them were fighting for education. So we've got to make out which is better for us. Either just to scatter only because she wears a blue skirt and I wear another color skirt. We mothers have got to make sure that, you know, whenever we speak to our children or to anybody else or addressing even the youth itself, we've got to tell them that, you know, we are all one. It is not the organization that is bad. There's nothing wrong with the ANC. There's something wrong with the individuals in the ANC. So that is what we've got to be, you know, to try and concentrate on, so that we must not concentrate on material things. We've got to know, think, and work out the best way out.
I just want to ask you, just to end off, Lyndall, I'll go with you first.
Yeah.
Had you not been through all of the experience, had you not gone into exile with your family, do you think you would have been a different woman today?
Very different. Very different. You know, the exiles had its ups and downs, and there were many days, especially in Tanzania, because we're under, South Africa is just under huge mountains, when you didn't sleep because you didn't know whether you were going to be killed the following day and all of that. So there were lots of those kinds of things. But we had great exposure. We had exposure to other people, so we appreciate difference, human difference much more. And we also know what is possible. We also understand the international solidarity. But I would not have had, without the exposure that I had, I wouldn't be anywhere near what I am today.
Ma'am Gertrude, you going into exile made you the best version of yourself?
Definitely. Especially that, I had a chance to visit many, many countries, different nationalities, speaking different languages, but I learned a lot.
Thank you very much for your time and sharing your memories with us.
Thanks to you and affording us the opportunity.